Now, when it comes to taking the doors off the Ford Bronco, which we've taken the front 2 doors off there, it's a very, very simple process. 3 things you need to do for each door. You're gonna have to disconnect the wiring harness right here, which is a simple plug you just pull out, takes no strength at all. Then you have a bolt here and a bolt here, and then you can just lift the doors off. It's literally a 1-minute process per side of the car. And if you follow me back here, this is actually where we've stored the doors. We've stored them in the back of the Bronco here because this is how Ford intended the doors to be stored. Now, don't fret. We did put a piece of cloth in between them so the paint's not getting scratched up or anything like that. Now, it's a little different for the Jeep though. So, Evo, how was your experience with taking those doors off?
I'm glad you asked because it's about the smoothest, easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, it's just super easy. But if I'm gonna be honest, I had never done this, so it took me a little bit longer. I do think it is easier on the Bronco because this one has a little bit more steps. So unlike the Bronco, he said it has 3 steps, you have just a little bit more. So you have each bolt here on the hinge that you have to take off. They're 250 Torx bolts. There's one here that holds the actual door stop. That one is a T40. And then of course you have to disconnect the harness back here, but you have to remove this plastic piece. Now, unlike what Ford did with the Bronco, which is he is correct on, you're not really supposed to store the doors in the Wrangler. You're supposed to leave them at your house. I don't know why Jeep decided to do that, but we have stored them in the back. We have flipped them to where the insides are looking at each other, and we've put something between them so the paint's not getting scratched, especially because it's black. But yeah, I think in this instance, the Bronco is much easier to rip the doors off, but we do have this really cool looking automatic roof, which he does not have.
Now, Evo might be right when it comes to removing the roof on the Bronco. You definitely don't have that cool automatic roof that you can get on the Jeep, which I wish this had, but no fret, that doesn't matter because you can still take these roof panels off and store them in the back, which you can't do with a normal Jeep that doesn't have that automatic roof. So just because he got an option, that doesn't mean that Wrangler's better. We're gonna take these out now and really see how these perform. Yo, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Those doors in the back are kind of stressing me out. They keep making noise. I mean, they're covered, so I hope the paint's not getting scratched. Jeez. Oh no. Every movement of those doors is like a scratch on a chalkboard. That's how bad it is. But it's really pretty. Oh no. I did forget to mention one thing though. The Bronco keeps its mirrors when you take the doors off. The Jeep loses them. So that's a lot nicer that I keep that. But overall, I mean, we're just on the trail right now. This is nothing crazy, but the off-road experience of this already, I can tell you, is gonna be better than the Jeep. The suspension system in the Bronco is just so much better and capable, just in my opinion. Not that Jeeps are bad, right? They handle really well off-road, but I think the Bronco is just better. But we can talk about a little more of those off-road features later when we have them side by side and I can actually rub it in Evo's face. Because you know what he doesn't have? Independently locking front differential. I have that. So that's the only thing I can think of right now.
So out in the Wrangler, we have the 4XC. We're out here in kind of the off-road trail. Honestly, I gotta tell you guys, this thing rides really, really well. This one does have aftermarket Fox shocks. As you guys noticed with those 35-inch tires, I think they put them on so they could kind of clear the tires a little bit more. It rides super nice out here. I mean, this road isn't obviously the best. It's an off-road kind of gravel trail. It could be worse, but it rides really good. I do have it in 4 high currently because just why not? We're off-road, we got to test it. I personally kind of do like this hybrid drivetrain for off-roading because you get a lot of low-end torque. So when you're kind of like crawling up, the car will ride. Right now it's the engine's on, but when I was creeping up here earlier, it was in electric mode. So it's pretty cool because then as soon as you blip the throttle, it has the instant torque to take off. So if you ever need that, just that little more push to get over like a little, I don't know, like a hill or a little conclave thing, you can definitely go ahead and do it. It is really good. I do like this powertrain. Like I said earlier, I would love to test the 392 out here. I think it would be really cool. I do think it'd be front end heavy, but then again, not too sure on that. That's something we'd have to test, but it's fun. I mean, I am having a lot of fun with this thing out here. It's definitely a lot different doing it with a hybrid than it would be with a regular V6. Because like I said, sometimes the engine just shuts off and you're like, am I still running? But overall, great. I do like it a lot. And the ZF is fantastic. I mean, it's constantly adjusting for the fact that, you know, you have an incline or whatnot. The one thing I do got to give the Bronco though is the Bronco does have different drive modes. This one does not. So you can't throw this one like in Baja mode or anything like the Bronco can. But I mean, essentially, I guess you are the mode inside the Jeep. So yeah, you guys let me know down below what you guys think. Would you guys prefer the different drive modes of the Bronco, which are known as the GOAT modes? I think they're super cool because they start adjusting everything on the Bronco. Here though, you don't have that. You kind of just have your manual old school, you know, lever to put it in 4 high or 4 low, whatever, and that's it. You don't really have different drive modes. But yeah, overall, great off-roader. I really do like it, and I truly do understand why people are always Jeep, Jeep, Jeep. We're gonna go buy one. Now, one thing I do have to mention, like earlier in the intro, Aiden mentioned, you can't put the doors, you know, in this thing, or at least you're not supposed to. We did, and it's perfectly fine. The doors are stable back there. They're not really moving around. I think he mentioned they were kind of moving around in the Bronco. Here they're not, but it's sort of an oversight. I wish Jeep would have kind of made it to where you can keep the doors in it. I mean, we did. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to fit all 4, but we did fit the front 2. So I guess you can work around it, but it would have been cool if Jeep kind of fixed that for you, or they decided that for you.